What's up, everybody? It's Brandon, and I'm back with another knee-jerk reaction review. This one, I was debating on even releasing because when I saw it, I was out of town on vacation, but you knew I still had to see it day one because this movie, of course, is Candyman. It's been my most anticipated movie going back even to last year when it was supposed to come out last year and this year. I mean, the excitement is off the charts. But let me tell you, once I watched this movie, I thought about pulling a mirror out and saying Candyman 5 straight times so I could get myself killed and get me out of this fucking theater experience. It was that bad. Not really. It was not that bad. But the big overarching thing that is talked about, I'll save for after that. I'll just get to, this is mainly going to be a spoiler review because that's a big reason why I don't like a lot of what happened. I'll say this much. Nia DaCosta, I think she's going to be a good director. I really do. I think she is good. You can tell she's got a hold of this movie. You know, it's not Jordan Peele. Everybody wants to run that into the ground. Jordan Peele this, Jordan Peele that. I'm a huge Jordan Peele fan, but you got to give Nia DaCosta her due. Just because Peele is on the set does not mean it's his whole movie. Nia DaCosta directed this thing, and honestly, even though it was similar in style, kind of, to Peele's movies, you know, Us and Get Out, it did feel like somebody different directed this. There was just enough of a different spin on it to make it her own, or at least not make it exactly like every Jordan Peele movie you've seen. I don't know if everybody agreed with me on this, but Nia DaCosta, I think, is going to have her own lane, her own vision, and she should get praised for that. And the way this movie is filmed, beautiful. As a horror movie, outstanding. Anytime I walk into a horror movie, and I rarely get these type of visuals, the colors, the vibrance of the colors when they're needed, the darkness of the rooms and lighting and everything that makes you feel so like, ooh, in the pit of your stomach, you can combine all those things together, and it just adds a whole nother character within the film. Very well done by Nia DaCosta, which I pretty much could tell from the trailer I was going to get that because all the clips and all that, I was like, damn, this movie looks like it's going to be very well filmed. I was correct in thinking that. The acting in this movie. I think, I'm not even going to pronounce his name. I didn't write it down. Guy that's in The Greatest Showman. You know, the lead star. That guy, I thought he was great. He wasn't phenomenal, but he was really good in the lead, I think. Everybody else, not bad, you know, not bad. But nobody else really stood out. I feel like the side characters, while they didn't take away from the movie, they didn't really add anything either. Wasn't anything special going on outside of him. Other than, oh, God, I'm always so bad. You can see him in the trailers. I thought he was pretty good. The guy that was, like, saying, like, Candyman ain't no man. Candyman's the whole fucking hive. Like, whoever that guy is, that dude was really good. I mean, he was just in, Zola, he was great in that. I really want to see this guy in more movies. He was really good here. But other than that, there just wasn't enough good characters. I thought the pacing was very deliberate. I thought it was well done. They didn't speed anything up, at least until a certain point. We'll get to that in spoiler territory. But they really had, again, DaCosta had a firm grasp on the story she was trying to tell and present here. And you can feel it. The movie feels like it's never in speed up mode, but it's also never boring. It really keeps the flow going. But then let's get to the spoilers, people, because that's about all I got for non-spoilers. Kills were okay. Not as good as some have let on. I'm a little confused by some of that. So we'll say that much. Last thing on non-spoilers. But spoilers. Then we get to the preachiness of the movie. Now, I've actually heard some decent rebuttals. They're like, look at Candyman. Candyman is founded in racism. So how can you be upset about a movie about racism? And they're trying to do the new age racism. Well, the thing is, well, just listen to what you just said. Like, the first one was about racism, but at the same time, it didn't interfere with the story. The story they're trying to tell here, you could say it's all part of this story within this movie, but it never felt like that. Down to every little last detail, it felt like Hollywood, some big-ass executive with a checklist, like put that in there, put that in there, put that in there, and maybe Nia DaCosta was like, okay, I got Jordan Peele. Let me try. And look, mind you, Jordan Peele's put racial issues in his 2 movies. Zero problems with that because it didn't affect the story, even though, you know, it's a whole other thing. You get what I'm saying, though. But Nia DaCosta in this movie, and I don't know if maybe she didn't have the reins, and they were kind of like, oh, young black woman, let's just throw all this in here and shove it down their throats. But they just did a very poor job with it. It felt so forced. Like, I tried so hard to get around it, and it's not even the fact, like, I'm not saying I disagree with the issues. They could have been talking about anything. Okay, here's a good example, for instance. The movie Candyman. Obviously, it's about Candyman. When I watched this movie, it felt like racial injustice with the side of Candyman. Now, you could be like, well, racial injustice is Candyman. It's like, yeah, it's Candyman, but with like that little racial injustice underneath of it. But at the end of the day, you're scared of this murderous villain. He's your Michael Myers of the movie. He might not be to that degree. He's got the racial injustice with it. He's got a little more, but at the end of the day, he's at the forefront. In this movie, I didn't feel that. So a good example of this, I think, would be like, it's a completely different movie, but something that would really also help me point towards the, like, it's not that I disagree with the message in Candyman, but this is how it would be if in this movie. Keep in mind, wasn't a big fan of this movie either. Space Jam: A New Legacy. Now, the movie's not called LeBron, but at the end of the day, it's about LeBron. This is a LeBron movie, just like it's a Candyman movie. Now, it might be LeBron and Looney Tunes, I get it. But at the end of the day, he's the star. He's the person. Everybody's like, oh my God, I'm going to the theater to see King James. I'm going to see LeBron. If they would have made this Space Jam movie, and like every time he dunked, they were like, check out those stats right there. They were just like, oh, back in 2004, LeBron had a career high 45. It would just be like, look, I know this movie is about LeBron and it's about basketball, but you're running it. It feels force-fed. It's starting to become a problem. And that is coming from somebody, if you know me, I am the biggest LeBron fan there ever is. So it's not disagreeing with the message. It's about if the message is overloaded too much and not convoluted, but to so much to the point where I'm just like, God, dude, I'm smart enough. I know what's going on here. You don't have to, it's almost insults you to the point where it's like, I don't need to be reminded about this every 2 seconds. Okay, not every 2 seconds. And again, for the last time, before I get kicked off YouTube, it's not that I disagree with these messages. I'm fully aware that black people are unjustly treated by cops. I'm not one of those people that goes on this thing where it's like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, well, if they'd stopped acting up, I understand. There's so much more to that. And gentrification, there's so much more to that. But it just felt too spoon-fed. Like they were like, take this information, take this information, take this information, take this information. Whereas in the movie, if it was just like, here, take this information, and then we kind of did that, maybe little subtle things underneath. By the end of it, I'd be like, wow, yeah, and the message got across. It was too much. I got hit over the head with a shovel. It felt like it just did not work for me. And then I sat through the credits because I was a little surprised at the end. Because the movie, that was the other thing where the pacing was finally bad. It felt like the end, they just kind of rushed it out the fucking window. But after I sat through the credits trying to digest, I'm like, man, do I hate this movie? Which I came to the conclusion I don't. But I don't like it either. The very end, it even says something, I can't remember if it's Black Lives Matter, but there's even a fucking like number you can call. Like it felt literally like, here's everything that we're trying to shove down your throats these days with a side of Candyman, just using that property to get their agenda across. Even if the property has something to do with these things, there felt like there was still an ulterior motive. I'm sorry, guys. That's the way it came across to me. I know a lot of people have said it. If some people are wondering in what ways they haven't seen the movie, they don't care about spoilers, this is how I would personally describe it. Other things that bothered me, we're in spoiler territory now, obviously, is Candyman. This one, there's different Candymans. And that was a little different, took a while to adjust to, but in the end, I was fine. But the thing is that I think the trailer, and this is more of usually a problem with the marketing team rather than actual Nia DaCosta herself, what she was trying to portray in the trailer, because usually that's cut by a marketing team. A lot of time directors are even like, I didn't even want that out there. You're spoiling my movie. Well, you saw at the very end of the trailer, there was a big claw. It wasn't that small claw that like fake Candyman. That's in my mind. I was like, we found out that he was a legit Candyman because there's multiple Candymans, but he kind of felt like how that one dude that was in the hood where he got into a Virginia Madsen's character, Helen, in the first one, one of my favorite horror movies. Love Candyman. But when he comes in there and he's like, I'm the Candyman. He's a fake Candyman. That's kind of the vibe I got from this Candyman. Even though it came out that this Candyman we're following is legit, I got vibes of we'll get, because there's multiple Candyman, we'll get to that point. And although we did get to that point at the very, 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 very end, it felt a little bit like too little too late. And I was wondering, like in the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm not dumb. I can see this Candyman, the one that we followed pretty much the whole movie, has this tiny hook. You know, it's not that big. It's a normal size hook. In the trailer, when you see the hook come around the shower curtain, when that little kid is looking into the bathroom, it looks gigantic. So I was like, when's that coming? When's that coming? When's that coming? And even though if I could be crazy, but I feel like in the movie, it was a smaller hook. It's like they just made it a bigger hook for that scene. So I'm wondering, where's that at? And then on top of that, I got duped in the trailer by the I am the writing on the wall. Like that whole be my victim. Like fucking Tony Todd, it's who it sounded like to me. That deep voice, I was like, damn, that voice is giving me chills. And then I saw the big hook and I was like, okay. So the whole movie, I was kind of waiting for something like that to come. And I got none of that, man. I don't know. The movie as a whole has issues, but the message, dude, is nothing wrong with the message. I'm not one of those guys, but I'm saying for the movie, it even fits. But how poured on it was, even to the point where it felt like it was all white people getting murdered. And, you know, there's one scene in particular where they're all in the bathroom and, like, one girl leaves, and it's like the Asian chick leaves, and all the white people stay to get slaughtered. And then there's a gay couple, which is fine. But then, of course, it's like an interracial gay couple, and the white guy and the interracial gay couple inside the midst of that couple felt like the only solid white guy in the movie that was portrayed in any kind of good way. So it was so agenda fueled. It felt like maybe, I don't know, dude. It's hard to explain. See the movie, decide for yourself. I'm not saying I'm exactly right, and I'm not saying for the 100th time that because I have to do this because I know how people get that what they're saying is wrong. It took over the movie for me. Even if it fits within the movie, it felt like movie under this long conveyor belt of this is what we're trying to get across. It was too much, man. Candyman, the new Candyman. I actually can't even stop this. I'm going to give it a 5.8 out of 10. There was some promise there, but I am extremely disappointed. I was ready for this to be a high 8, low 9. I was ready for it to blow my mind, and it just didn't in so many ways. Wasn't a dog shit movie. Can't give it a bad rating. But yeah, y'all see it, decide for yourself. The people that have seen it, let me know, man. Love you guys. Peace.